gyroscope. So kindly check dimensions for this gyroscope, which I'm doing right now. So to start this gyroscope we are doing by means of an assembly. So by using the joint operations. So let's start from the creating of the components. So first go to create and take a sphere. Just select any one of the plane and then the center point. First create a sphere of 110 mm diameter, 110 diameter, and go to operation and change operation as new component. Operation as new component. Now create one more sphere which is of dimension 100 mm. Operation new component. One more sphere 90 mm, new component. Create sphere 80 mm, new component. Create sphere and the last sphere is of 70 mm and say new component. Okay, so once you are done with component 1, component 2, component 3, component 4 and component 5, which is of 110, 100, 90, 80 as well as 70 mm diameter. Now you select any one of the perpendicular planes. Let's say here I am taking XZ plane and go to create sketch. So after taking the create sketch, take a centered rectangle here. Give this dimension such a way that dimension somewhere 180 by this width you give as 8 mm. Okay, now take one more rectangle, just cover the complete sphere as well as this rectangle, so I can cut out the portion of the spheres, something like this, and say finish sketch. Okay, now use extrude option and select the outer perimeter of this particular sphere, and now give direction, change it to symmetric cut. We will be left out with plates. You see here we are left out with these individual plates. Turn off the origin if you want. So here, see, here we are left out with individual plates. After that, what we are going to do is we are going to apply shell operation. So turn off all the components. We will turn on individual by individually. So for component toggle coloring, Shift N is a shortcut. Shift N for component toggle coloring. So turn off all the components. So this is my first component. I am going to apply shell operation on this. So to apply shell operation, go to modify. Under that we will find the shell. So select the either sides and say and thickness 2 mm. This is the first thing. Turn on the second component, apply shell, thickness 2 mm. Turn on the third component, apply shell. Turn on the fourth component and apply shell. Turn on the fifth component and apply shell here also. So once you are done with making these rings, okay, now go to create sketch and select XY plane. Okay, now draw a random rectangle. Take a rectangle, just draw something like this and give dimension one end of the rectangle to the center point of origin, something like 10 mm, and say finish sketch. Now turn off all the components, example 2, 3, 4 as well as the fifth one, only retain the first component. Okay, now apply extrude option here. Apply extrude option. So extrude and cut this portion. So direction you change it to symmetric. Direction change it to symmetric and say okay. Now we what we have to do is we have the cross section of this rectangle. This rectangle cross section we have to extrude it for 15 mm. Extrude it for 15 mm. So repeat the same procedure on the bottom side also. 15 mm. Now bring back all the components. Now create sketch on the XZ plane from the center point. From center point, draw a circle of diameter 4 mm and create extrude cut. Create extrude cut and the direction you change it to symmetric. So okay. So this is the first step. The next, create sketch once again and select XZ plane. Now in the sketch palette here we will find an option called as slice. So turn on the slice. When we turn on the slice, it will display us the cross section area. So using this cross section area we are going to make some fringes. So to make the fringes, first I am taking a construction line for the reference purpose. So turn off the construction. So this fringe step is very important. So the first fringe is making from the circle or the sphere of 100 mm to the sphere of 90 mm. So take a line, first point till the next body. This is the first step. And the second line from the center of the sphere 90 which has to cross to the sphere 80, and one more, and the last one is for diameter 71. So once you are done with all the sketches, say finish sketch. Now we have to use an option that is called as pipe. So before using the pipe option, what we can do is turn off all the components and we will execute this pipe option one by one. So turn off all the components. So first let's bring back only the first component. Now go to create. Under create we'll find an option that is called as pipe. So select the pipe option and give this surface over here which we have drawn for the first board first ring. Give the section size as 4 mm and operation you change it to join say okay.